Yeah, for sure. So this is a...
Yeah, for sure, bud.
Yeah, for sure, bud.
Yeah, gotcha, bud. Like a bump of chicken. Yeah, no, this was, I got this from your favorite store. The one that always does collabs with anime. Uniqlo, that's it.
Yeah. Uniqlo's great.
Anyway, I guess that's a free shout out to Uniqlo. Mari Krambu Weebs, my name is Cole, his name is Mike, his name is Jay. We like anime. This is one episode, not 185, 158.
Nope.
Oh my god, what a fool I have been all this time.
You are.
What a
turducken I am. Yeah. On this week's episode, we are reviewing Nue's Exorcist. Is it good? Is it bad? Who knows?
Is it just okay?
Is it perfectly fine?
What is it? What is Nue and what is Nue's Exorcist?
Yeah.
This is something we'll examine in the confines of this podcast.
Stay tuned. If you could help us out by leaving us a like, subscribing, that would really, really put a smile on little baby Jay's face. Look at him. He needs it.
Look,
he's suffering right now.
Yeah.
He's suffering. Jay, how you holding up, buddy?
I'm okay. I didn't think we were going to address it on the pod, but okay.
Well, we are now.
Yeah.
I always do. I always address our weak points.
Yeah.
Keeps us humble.
It's rare that
like
I'm
a
sick
hawk.
on the podcast. I think
that is true. Yeah.
I'm the least common.
I feel like the rankings would probably be
Cole the most.
number one for sure.
Yeah.
You know,
and then it's a toss-up between me and Jay, but I feel like you might come in slightly ahead of me, Jay. Actually,
it's funny though. Like
I've only been sick like twice on the pod.
Yeah, Jay hasn't been sick that much.
I might have been 2 or 3 times. So actually, yeah, maybe I'm 2 then.
You guys talk like I'm sick all the time.
You are.
You
are.
No, I'm not. When was it? Go back. Find an
sickly.
episode. Find an episode when I was sick.
Cole, I
Listeners,
literally turned on an
Prove them
episode
wrong.
of the pod randomly, and it was an episode where you were sick.
Mm-hmm.
Like you were.
No, that would
sniffling.
indicate that I'm. No, then that was just an anomaly. Then, because by that logic, I'm sick most of the time, which I just.
That's what we're saying.
That's
I'm not. Do you guys think I'm sick when I'm sniffling?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not sick. I have allergies or something.
You're hella sick, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's going on? What's going on, Jay? What's happening?
Been reading manga a lot lately,
good.
especially because
Eating chicken soup.
I haven't had any chicken soup yet.
Well, that's why you're sick. That's why you're sick.
No, just orange juice. Lots of vitamin C. But I've been reading manga. I started reading a little-known manga. May not know it. It's pretty obscure. Called Bleach.
Yes. I've heard of this.
Yeah.
I've heard of this. I use it when I wash this white shirt, actually. So I'm guessing Jay's just like reading the warnings on the back of the bottle of Javex.
Yeah. I just I've been told that when you're sick, you're supposed to drink it because it'll cleanse out all the bacteria.
Mm-hmm. Do not take medical advice from AniPro podcast.
No. Or
I can't laugh right now.
Previous government officials that told you to inject it into your veins.
Yeah. Bleach is a cleaning product, not for the body.
It's not
really
for
good
health
for you.
reasons, unless you want
Definitely
poor health results. But no, I've been reading the manga. I'm about 20 chapters away from the end. I was hoping by the time we started recording today I'd be done, but other things came up that got in my way. So
I think it's 400 chapters?
686.
I was way off.
Yeah.
It's 700 chapters. Okay.
You were
you
were
were
in
in
the grand scheme of things. Yeah.
If this was like me, if this is an archery competition, I hit the right wall.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't hit the target. I was nowhere near the target.
I mean, 600 and some odd chapters. You said 400. That's more closer to being.
I guess.
That's
closer to the end than the start.
Pumping my tires.
The curling rock is in the rings. It's not in dead center.
You didn't get it. Yeah, you didn't get a bullseye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You didn't draw right up to the button, but you're in the circle. You're in the.
I do appreciate the Canadian metaphor too. But Jay, tell us about Bleach, which is interesting because I actually like before you started reading it, I actually was seeing that 1,000-Year Blood War was coming out, and I was like, I've proclaimed Jay as the man who's read Shonen Jump. Full stop.
Yeah.
And then I thought to myself when 1,000-Year Blood War Part 3 was coming out, I'm like, I don't think he's read Bleach.
I have.
And here you are.
Yeah. No.
Now you have.
Now I have.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was the only one of the big three I hadn't read, so I was like, I feel like I should like
to
find out what makes it the third one. And it's pretty good. I think like it is mostly just like the rule of cool over and over and over again.
I agree with that. Bleach is like literally like let's just do cool fights. The manga / anime. Like it really does not care as much about everything else as the other two.
Yeah. And like I think for the sake of my own enjoyment, I'm enjoying that more than I am enjoying, or more than I did enjoy Naruto.
Okay.
I think.
What's your personal ranking? Let's upset people.
One Piece is just like far and away the best one of the three. Like it does everything decent to really good, or very well. Then Bleach.
Even that glowing review of One Piece will not be good enough for the One Piece fans.
No. The One Piece fans, they're going to be like, no. Everything about One Piece is a masterpiece.
Exactly.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
But no. One Piece is good. I like One Piece. It's my favorite of the big three.
It's my favorite too.
Then Bleach, I think like it does the rule of cool so well. Tight Kubo honed his craft on like making really cool looking characters and putting them in just the most awesome positions.
Sorry, could you repeat that name again?
Tight
Kubo.
Why is this Kubo so tight?
Is that actually how the name is? I've always wondered that. I think.
Is it tight?
It's tight
Tite or Tite.
I thought it'd be Tite.
I thought it was Tite as well, but like I looked into it.
I remember you guys
it's
clowning
Tight
on
Kubo.
me. Oh, dang.
Okay, Mike, I take back my clowning of you.
I'm
here to pump up your tires, not
tight.
Yeah, not
No. You're not like that. That is how in Japanese it would be pronounced, but no, it's tight, which is weird. But
weird.
That is weird. Strange.
And then Naruto on bottom.
I just like, for the most part, I don't really remember much about it. Like, I look back and I'm like, I liked Tsunade. I thought she was a cool character.
She had big booba. Yeah.
She became Hokage.
Yeah.
And then like when I was reminded of Kakashi's backstory, I was like, oh yeah, I like that, I guess.
I feel like Naruto's peaks are like some of the highest of the big three. Like the best moments in Naruto are like some of the best moments in Shonen, and I feel like we're like kind of getting into our post intro discussion almost already. But like,
a little bit.
I think that the majority of it does not measure up to the majority of the other two, in my opinion.
Yeah,
is how I kind of look at it.
Yeah, like I'm a bit of an outlier because like I didn't really care for the pain arc, and like the Chunin exams was a bit overhyped for me. Because like it doesn't
the contrarian, my friend.
Because like the Chunin exams doesn't even get a conclusion; it gets interrupted like halfway through, and it's like, oh well, then what was the point of that?
Yeah, Naruto wasn't even like an actual like sanctioned ninja
for
like most of the series. Isn't he like a super low rank even when he's Hokage?
A Genin or whatever.
Yeah, something like that. And at the same time, like
Naruto's actually like very deep and like
it kind of like stops being about ninjas like halfway through, and it introduces like magic and other stuff.
It was only about ninjas for like flipping 10, like the first half of the original Naruto, and then it just became wizards. They're all wizards, dang it.
Yeah, now they're just all wizards. Like there's the whole frog thing that he learns after a bit, and it's like what?
Toad Sage.
Yeah,
I will say I did enjoy Naruto. Right. I feel like we're bashing it. I did enjoy it. It's just it doesn't measure up to the other two in my opinion.
It's just kind of in the it's in the same
Here's my thing though. To counter you guys, Naruto is probably more in the lexicon of the average layman here in the West than any of the other three.
For sure. Mhm.
So
If I were to rank them in order of popularity, it would be Naruto, One Piece, Bleach.
Probably.
yeah, I think
And I
I'd
think
go with
that's
that
I
too.
think that's like you could probably like that's official.
Hmm.
yeah,
It's the AniPro official popularity
yeah,
ranking of those.
it's
three.
official. Don't even look it up. Don't even bother.
But I keep interrupting Jay. Tell us about Bleach.
Yeah.
oh yeah,
Yeah,
Bleach.
no, it's fun. I think like it does get a little bit ridiculous with like, oh, I'm about to lose, but actually I was holding back this final power up that I had,
Yeah.
just like
Yeah.
waiting in the wings till this one moment, and it's like, what? Why didn't you just open with that? No. Now now I got to reveal it because it's gonna be cool. Watch this. And then he activates it.
I mean, yeah.
and then
I feel like
and-
if I was a powerful shonen protagonist, like I
Mhm.
would, the battles would be so short because I would always come out with my strongest
Just-
move.
Mhm.
Just spam your yeah.
Just
Just spam your finisher the whole time.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
it gets me every single time because every time they just
It's
say,
good though.
they just show Bankai, and I'm like, oh, let's go.
I know. It's so the thing with Bleach is like there's a formula for sure,
Mhm.
but it's almost like it's so like pure battle shonen,
Mhm.
and it just like it's just like I just want to be cool. That's all I care about.
Yeah.
And then it's like, okay, yeah, you've succeeded. Your characters look awesome.
Mhm.
The power system's kind of cool, and like that the thing that obviously them saying Bankai is just like, oh, it's chef's kiss. Great
Yeah.
choice. Yeah.
I mean, Tite Kubo, like, he was an artist before he was a writer. So, like, his whole thing was just
Mhm.
making cool designed
Yeah.
characters and cool looking abilities, and that's about it.
It makes sense in that sense too. Like, don't a lot of people say like the series gets better as it goes on?
Hmm.
It's like he's learning, or they're learning
yeah,
how to write.
Yeah.
Kinda, yeah.
And, like, I could see he was definitely growing as a creator as the series went on.
Mhm.
But,
Mhm.
like,
Yeah.
I think it's more he came into his own rather than, like, he picked up new tricks, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
And then some in the middle there, I don't know if you picked up on this too, but apparently he was like not wanting to do Bleach anymore. But
Mhm.
like basically like Shonen Jump was like, no, you're gonna continue this highly popular manga.
Yeah.
So he was kind of just like trapped in it, and you can kind of
Hmm.
some of the middle stuff does get a little kind of I would say.
Yeah,
You know,
I kind
yeah.
of like I was starting to fall off a little bit during Arrancar. But then I came like Fullbring. This is my hot take on Bleach
Yes,
because
you
everyone
told
hates
me this.
Fullbring. Fullbring's my favorite
Yes.
arc so far.
You're crazy. That's
I-
lunacy.
I don't know.
Tsukishima was
anything about
such a cool villain, and the fact that he pushed Ichigo to the lengths that he did, more than any other character in the series, was awesome. So like
I appreciate your hot take, and
Mhm.
I want to extract one more hot take out of you that you revealed to me. The
Mhm.
coolest
Yes.
character,
yes,
one of the most popular characters in anime, Aizen. Tell us your thoughts on Mr. Aizen.
overhyped. He's a dramatically overhyped villain. I thought like every time he was like, "Oh, this is all according to plan," it felt like an ass pull, or like just kind of like
I mean, yeah, everything in Bleach is kind of an asshole.
yeah,
You really want to get down that rabbit hole.
but or like it's like he's made to seem smarter than he actually is. He's not like there was nothing that he did that made me go like, oh, this guy's like actually smart. It's like how Cole feels about Ayano Koji from Classroom of the Elite.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
I got you.
He's,
I'm back,
he's like
baby.
in the mold of Ayano Koji, but he's like, I don't agree with Jay. I think he is cool and like very smart and scary.
No.
I'm so back. I'm
Yeah,
in. I'm
the
in,
one
Jay.
the one manipulation feat he has is that he can literally hypnotize people. But like that's not
Yes.
really that's magic. That's a superpower.
Everything.
not his
It's all
brain.
magic, Jay. It's all magic.
Oh, well,
Oh, Jay's
he's dead.
puked everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah, I just died.
Yeah. So just to like to clarify how
I think I know what
controversial
Cole's
Jay's
laughing
opinion. Yeah, the fact that he puked everywhere.
I'm picturing like Jason.
I just Googled
Uh,
Bleach Fullbring arc, And the top thing is, why do people hate the Fullbring arc?
Yeah.
And then everything's saying, what, and the other one's here, what is the point of the Fullbring arc? And everyone's talking about skipping it. And it's just like,
no, don't skip it.
I appreciate, it'd be pretty weird if you skipped it. It wouldn't you'd be very confused.
Yeah.
Well, the whole point of it is giving Ichigo his powers back.
He loses his powers?
Spoilers. Jay, that's enough about you and Bleach, though.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Who am I passing this ball over to?
Let's go to Mike. Let's see what's going on in his brain.
What's going on in your world?
Like monkeys hitting symbols.
Cut to monkey with the symbols.
Yeah. Probably the biggest thing is I've been working on this project for my school, and the other thing that has been going on with me is the new Twice album just came out, so I've been blasting that. Yeah.
Are you blasting it twice?
I've listened to it more than twice for sure.
Fake fan.
Mm-hmm.
You have to listen to it twice.
Everybody gets it twice. Tell him, Jay.
Everybody gets it twice.
That's right.
Okay. Well, you guys got to listen to it twice then too.
No.
We're not fans.
No, yeah.
But
I actively
interesting thing,
hate them.
No, how could you? They're so nice.
I'm kidding.
They're so nice and
sweet.
Mike. But yeah, Spotify Wraps just came out, and it's just always like an interesting exercise in seeing like how your music tastes change year to year.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Cole's was probably one of the most unique ones I think I saw this year, where you had Billy Joel as your top artist.
I was surprised by that even.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I do enjoy me some Billy Joel.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing better than Vienna. Love the song Vienna. Scenes from an Italian Restaurant. Excellent songs.
He has some good songs. He has some very good songs.
Bangers. But yeah, I was surprised. That was my number one artist. Surprised me. But on the other hand, I don't know who else would be my number one artist. Like, I don't really listen to a lot of a single artist, I think.
Yeah, that was the problem with me. Like, I got my 5, and I was like, I listened to like one song from this guy.
Mm.
Yeah, if you just mostly do, because I feel like we do playlists mostly nowadays.
Yeah.
So you pretty rarely like actually listen to one song or one artist.
Yeah.
Which is why Twice was easily my number one. I had 30,000 minutes, and 1,400 of them were Twice.
I'm not surprised.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, if Michael ever drives you somewhere, you will be listening to Twice.
You will be.
I'm just telling you. I'm just telling you
in
that
the next
right
couple
now.
weeks.
Or if you're at
their new
house.
album, their 14th mini album, Strategy, featuring Megan Thee Stallion.
Isn't that their
14th album?
Isn't that their 14th return album?
14th mini album.
I thought they were called Returns.
No.
Yeah, comebacks.
No, a comeback is a different thing. Like, that's I don't know, man. I can't keep track of all this K-pop stuff.
Right? K-pop
They all have
so much.
Okay, hold on. Here we go.
It's all
the album's discography of South Korean girl group Twice consists of 8 studio albums, 14 extended plays,
Okay.
3 reissue extended plays, 4 compilation albums.
Okay.
And the interesting thing is, I don't know how many of those are. Some of those are broken up into Japanese, English, and Korean. So they have albums in 3 different languages, which is kind of interesting.
Okay.
Anyway,
I mean, when you say it like that, I understand. Oh,
I'm
what
lost.
you're saying. Full albums.
Can you put it in
full
English
albums, EP.
Yeah.
Well, a full album, and an EP is an extended play. So that's like it's like an OVA, Jay.
It's kind of like a single with a couple extra songs tacked on.
Yeah.
It's like a half album usually.
It's like a movie versus an OVA. Like movie quality, but not the same length, you know?
I kind of think the future of music is in like the EP, actually, like the mini album, because I think nowadays like you really only get like everything's so based on the single anyway that like
people don't care about albums anymore.
I was gonna say I think the future is the single. Like people are just gonna be releasing like single songs.
And pretty much we're here. We're already kind of at that actually.
Yeah.
Which makes all the old heads go like, I miss full albums. You could tell a story with an album. And you're like, shut up, old man.
You can tell a story with a single song.
Turns off his Billy Joel album. Yeah.
I mean, those are some. The Stranger, excellent album. Oh,
yeah.
Ooh.
Anyway, that's enough ranting and raving about musical things. Cole, quickly tell us what's on your mind.
Okay, quick. We just got to dive into the newsroom.
Live from AniPro Studio.
Be quiet. The Mobile Suit Gundam GQuuuuuX or GQuuuuuX. I just want to quickly talk about this. This is what's on my mind, I guess. I've also been listening to Rush more lately, but nobody cares. Mobile Suit Gundam. New series. If you just watched the trailer, you're going to watch it and you're going to be like, this is weird. This is weird. There's already a lot of people complaining about the Gundam's design, which I think is
it's cool,
super cool and unique.
It looks. I will say, as a hardcore Gundam fan, I do think it doesn't really look like a Gundam, and maybe that's what they're complaining about.
I think the consensus on this is like, if this was just a generic mech show, people would be totally fine with it. But the pushback a little bit is that it's a Mobile Suit Gundam show. So apparently it takes place in like an alternate UC timeline where the Zeons won the war.
Oh, is that what? I never actually saw that. Is that actually what's going on here?
Yeah.
Because it kind of, in the first clip, it looks like a colony, and I was like, oh, it looks like this is UC, and then it's like very clearly not UC. Yeah.
So, important things. Of course, the elephant in the room with this is the script is being written by Hideaki Anno of Evangelion fame. And Jay, you'll enjoy this. He's also, the other scriptwriter is Yuji Enokido, who's written for Bungo Stray Dogs.
Oh, cool.
He's written for Evangelion movies. It seems like he works a lot with Hideaki Anno as well. But yeah, Bungo Stray Dogs, I thought was an interesting thing that kind of ties everything together. The director as well is Kazuya Tsurumaki, who, again, he worked on the Evangelion movies. So I think this is in pretty good hands. The big surprise for me, Mike, you'll like this. The character designer is Take, depending on how you want to pronounce it. And they did like a lot of the Pokemon character designs for some of the Pokemon games. And then you see it and you're like, oh,
it's for the anime,
yes.
I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you know Sun and Moon, I think they kind of did a lot of the Sun and Moon art designs.
Yeah. And any anime where the main character is going to be played by Tomoyo Kurosawa, I'm in. Also known as Kumiko Umae or Foss from Land of the Lustrous. We'll hear a lot of Guez. We'll hear a lot of generic noises.
Gooks?
Gooks.
Whatever that, how do you say that name? QUUUUX?
Yeah. I read somewhere, somebody, I think I've cracked the code, or somebody online has. They said this is from Zaku Aurelius's YouTube video regarding this. Somebody commented, for the record, I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be pronounced G-Quarks. This is why there's a bunch of lowercase u's in the title. This is how you represent up quarks in particle physics. And on some of the previews, when they say the name of the show in Japanese, they say G-Quacks, which sounds like
Quarks.
A Japanesized version of quarks.
So G-Quacks is what we're calling it for now?
I think that's what most people are calling it right now, but I think it will be G-Quarks. I think.
Okay.
I'm going to put money down on G-Quarks.
We will find out when it comes out on January 17th in Japanese theaters. And then actually we got a little leak from our local Gunpla guy. Did you see that in the local Gunpla Facebook? That it's going to come to North America in like March or something like that?
Ooh, I'm in. I'm excited. I'm excited.
It's a movie. And then it's gonna doing like the Demon Slayer thing where it shows like basically the first 3 episodes as a movie in theaters, and then you can watch it on TV.
Yeah. I am cautiously optimistic, but I am genuinely excited for like a super unique Gundam show. I haven't seen a Gundam this unique, I think, since Turn A, I would say.
Yeah, it kind of looks, I was thinking like, it kind of gives me like G Gundam guy vibes a little bit, but Turn A too, maybe. It's very triggery. It's very like Gainaxy, which is kind of exciting. Like I like that as like a old head on this.
I think it'll be pretty divisive in the Gundam community, but I feel like I'm coming down on
watch it just be like Gundam Evangelion.
I mean,
That's
hey,
cool. Yeah.
yeah, cool.
Let it rip. Yeah.
I didn't mean that as a bad thing.
Yeah,
No, it
yeah.
looks a lot more action heavy just from the trailer anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And let me tell you, I am 100% in getting this Gunpla model too.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool.
It looks so posable and cool. Yeah, I'm excited for this one. Mike,
Me too.
you think you're gonna watch this one?
Oh, absolutely. I think I've watched most Gundams. I have to continue my streak. I will not let it end here. I watched that damn CG one that just came out this season.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm not going to watch this.
You even watch like Build Divers and stuff like that.
Yeah, the first Build Divers underrated. The rest of them trash, garbage.
Yeah,
don't watch them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Guys, now Jay, you kind of went off on Bleach already, and Mike kind of hinted at this. I think what we should do for the first half here is maybe just kind of generally talk about shonen manga, because we're reviewing a generic shonen manga. Let's discuss generic shonen manga, or maybe good shonen manga if you want. I mean, it's up to you.
Shonen manga in general, I guess.
Yeah. Like, I enjoy some shonen manga. Like if you look at like the most popular shonen manga on AniList, number one is Chainsaw Man.
You like Chainsaw Man?
Yeah. Chainsaw Man, good shonen manga. I'm surprised though. Like, here's kind of the thing I would say about shonen manga. Like, what is shonen manga? Like, what makes something shonen as opposed to non-shonen? Like, where do we draw the line?
Magazine. It's released in a shonen magazine.
That's so.
I know.
That's so binary. But you're right. You're out of line, but you're right, Jay.
It's kind of a pet peeve of mine, because like technically, if you want to be really technical about it, if like Fruits Basket came out in Shonen Jump, it'd be a shonen manga, for example.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
which just kind of feels wrong.
Yeah,
when you say that, right?
Yeah, but the whole thing I bring this up about is like Chainsaw Man. They describe that as a shonen manga.
Yeah,
it's in Shonen Jump.
And like intuitively, though, I think of it as like more seinen. Like, it's pretty violent and.
I disagree.
Of, like,
I think it has
themes.
a lot of the. I think it has a lot of the things that make shonen manga. Like, it has the battles. It has like the cool like quote unquote power ups and like superpowers and things like that. It has like the typical like the guy joins this organization that's set on fighting and defeating these like.
No, I get that. It's just.
I think
it's
what Cole's
just like
trying to
something
get at is that there should be almost like they should almost bring in like a young shonen tag for like stuff like My Hero Academia, which is very different from this and like Attack on Titan.
Well, I mean, like
stuff, right?
My Hero Academia does have adult themes in it. Like, it's not like it's just a
sorry, just as a counter to the argument about like the battles and stuff. Like what. Something like Chain Soldier also has all of those things, but would you describe that as a shonen manga as well?
Oh, absolutely.
Really?
Yeah.
There's boobies in that.
So?
Bare boobies.
So?
The children shouldn't be seeing that.
I mean, like, shonen is more like 13-year-olds, I think. And I think that would suit that.
Okay.
It's a very like diverse thing, and I don't really know. Like Cole's kind of getting at it's hard to intuitively know what falls under the shonen tag and what falls under the seinen tag and stuff just by like looking at the cover and like reading it a little bit. Unless you're like Jay, who probably could tell you what magazine everything came out in. I have no idea for the most part if something's shonen.
My anime list is actually a really good source for like where things are publishing and that.
Yeah, but like I wouldn't intuitively know that like whatever magazine something's coming out in is a seinen one or versus a shonen versus a shoujo. You know?
Normally it does. Normally it does tell you, because like normally they're like shonen blank. Or, like, if it's a seinen one, it'll be, like, young blank, because, like, young adult.
Yeah. I mean, hey, when in doubt, Wikipedia. That's what I usually use. Wikipedia is actually really good, too, because, Jay, Wikipedia corrected me. I didn't know that Chain Soldier, like, it's listed as a shonen.
It is shonen.
And Yeah. In my head, though, like,
Mm-hmm.
I guess that's an Eastern versus Western thing. Like, we would never put something like that in a magazine, even for teenagers.
Well, I mean, like, in One Piece, like, Sanji smokes, and, like, when 4Kids picked it up, they censored that.
Yeah,
you can't
that's
have your
true.
characters
That's a fair
smoking for
argument.
kids.
Yeah, that's a fair argument. Yeah, okay. Well,
I think maybe the other interesting thing to look at is, like, what's not shonen?
Mm-hmm.
And there's some things that you would think are shonen that aren't. Like, for example, Kaguya-sama, Love is War. It's listed under the seinen tag. Same thing with Tokyo Ghoul. Like, these all came out in Shonen Jump as well, I'm pretty sure.
Young
Jump,
Viz
titles?
which is the seinen.
Oh, okay. Well, there you see. Like,
magazine.
it's confusing. Like, I wouldn't immediately pick up on that.
I mean, see, here's Jay coming in with the facts, though. Like, he told us, like, if it says shonen, then it's for shonen. If it says young, it's probably a seinen. I never picked up on that, but okay, cool. All right, Jay.
I honestly kind of think, like, we should just move away from using these two descriptors, like the shonen and shoujo and stuff. I think we should describe things differently, because I feel like it's hard to pin. They're very messy tags.
It's normally just like a target demographic. It's not like a a neat box that it needs to go into.
Yeah, I think, to play devil's advocate with Mike, like, I think a lot of people will get hung up on whether or not it's shonen or seinen.
Yeah,
like, somebody will be like, "I'm not reading that. It's a shonen, and I am big, strong man."
Yeah,
and it's like, well, I mean, that's not really fair.
But I don't think that's the fault of, like, what magazine it's in. That's on the person who's making that choice.
Yeah. Where I think it's just like, I think we all need to just kind of take everything in as what it is, rather than being so hung up on show. And I'm not saying that we are. The three of us aren't. Obviously, we take in a lot of different media. But I don't know. Yeah, that's what I think.
Yeah, to me, the way I look at like, the target demographic is, I'll look at, like, what magazine it's in, and if it's like, oh, that's neat, it's in Young Jump. I didn't think it would be. And then I just move on, right? Like, it doesn't really matter at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of, that's how I feel. I feel like it's something people get hung up on, and I think it's something that probably there's better things to look at, I think, than that. That's just one of a few things you can determine if you're going to like something.
Yeah.
Is it what I would say to people?
Yeah, like, don't judge a book by its cover, I think, is the best way to look at it. Like, look at what it's about, rather than, like, who it's supposed to be for, right? Like,
yeah,
there are a lot of girls that read Shonen Jump, right? Like,
yeah.
Are you going to tell
lots
them
of guys
like it's not
read shoujo?
Yeah, and I guess shonen means young boy, right? And that's why like you allude to there's girls that read it, because it's technically, what's the female equivalent of shonen? Shoujo. And what's the female equivalent of seinen?
Josei.
That, okay, yeah.
Like, it's the sei from seinen, and then jo from shoujo.
Gotcha. Okay.
I'm pretty sure Josei, though, usually most of the time is, like, very steamy.
No.
In my experience.
No.
Most of it that I've seen is like...
Wotakoi is Josei.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, well then
I think it's probably just the ones that you're maybe into.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Well, I'm not into any of them.
Like, I mean, a lot of the time, those ones probably will be Josei because of, like, the subject matter. But, like, that's not, like, it's the other way around, rather than, like, it's steamy because it's Josei. It's Josei because it's steamy, you know?
Steamy.
Yeah.
Steamy. Very good word.
A Josei
Very
you
good
recently
word that I
watched,
used.
Cole, is Senpai isn't it Otoko no Kono. Oko. Thank you, Jay.
Otoko no Ko. Yeah. Well, we're talking about shonen manga, though.
Yes.
That's what we're doing. Do you guys have, like, if somebody came up to you, Mike, and they're like, "Wow, nice jersey, Mike.
Hi.
What's
Grady
a
Gundam
shonen manga?
Mm-hmm.
What's a shonen manga that you enjoy?"
They walk up to you, they, like, kneel down on one knee, and they go, Gritty Gundam Sama,
Mhm.
please bestow upon
What's
me a shonen manga that you hold in high regard.
A must-read shonen manga.
Wow, I would reach down and I would grasp them from the bottom of their chin and I'd say thank you for asking me. Finally, someone has asked me for my opinion,
Mhm.
and I would pick them up and carry them around as I told them the tales of Attack on Titan, and I would say,
Like a princess?
Attack. Yeah, like a princess.
Yeah, that's
I'd
what
say
I
Attack
pictured.
on
I
Titan.
pictured him carrying them like a princess. Yeah.
like a carrying the bride across the threshold. That's what I would do.
Yeah,
Telling
yeah.
them tales of Attack on Titan, because I think it's nice. It's a complete story. It tells. There's enough detail there that you can kind of keep going back to it, and you're going to understand a lot about. If you read the manga for Attack on Titan before you watch the anime for it, you're going to have a good time because you're going to like appreciate all the stuff a little more. You understand it a bit better, like all the little details that are all happening and the little plot twists.
Mm-hmm.
I find at least. But yeah, honestly, I don't know. I'm mostly a anime first, manga second type of guy.
Mhm.
I would much rather watch something in anime form. So I don't know that I would have any like real hot, great recommendations for my person I'm carrying around here. Do you guys feel like you have? Let's throw it to Jay then. What would you recommend? Someone falls, trips, breaks their ankle in front of you, and they're like, "Oh God, it hurts so much. Please tell me a shonen manga I can enjoy to take away
First
this pain."
I'd call an ambulance, I think.
Well, that's
Over
not
a
what they asked
twisted
for,
ankle?
is it?
And then like while we're in the ambulance ride to the hospital, I'm like holding their hand.
Oh,
like,
you're
making
hopping in
that-
the ambulance with them.
Yeah. Don't
Mm.
worry. I'm
Okay.
still giving them
Okay.
the recommendation. I'm just like getting them to a doctor.
That first responders are like wheeling him away. Jay's like, no, I'm coming with.
He
They
asked
need
me
my
a
help.
question.
They
Yeah.
need my help.
Look, they need your help, but they also need my help.
They
Yeah.
asked for mine first.
Mhm.
Yeah. I'm also a
Yeah.
paramedic in this situation. Yeah.
Yeah. Mental
Um,
health paramedic.
But the manga I'd recommend, D.Gray Man. Just
Oh,
like
deeper cut.
Okay.
a bit of a deep cut, I know, but like it genuinely is probably my favorite shonen battle manga. Just because like the characters are so compelling. It starts one way, but like as the story goes, it opens up into a very different kind of story, and like it just it makes you feel for the characters more and more as it goes on.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like so wonderfully told that I can't recommend it enough.
Mhm.
Nice.
So
I know
he's
nothing about it, so I have a
Yeah.
hard time.
Yeah, it's
Hard time
very
commenting on it.
hard selling it as a story and its best parts
Mhm.
without spoiling it.
Mm.
But it's about exorcism
Okay.
and things
Okay.
like that.
I've seen you've posted like panels of it before, and
Mhm.
I feel like it looks cool, and it's on the ones like I am interested in checking out, but it's not
Mhm.
very high on the list. I feel like
Yeah.
like there's just always something else. That's kind of how I
Mhm.
feel about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But like yeah, they're exorcising these creatures that spawn from like negative emotions of people. And
That sounds like a familiar concept.
It's a very brand new concept, but no, it
wonder if we're gonna-
expands into something else that when it gets there, it's like, oh dang, this is actually really
It's usually how it goes. Yeah.
good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Usually. That's usually how it goes.
Alan Walker. needs a
Sometimes it
hug.
just doesn't. Sometimes it
Mhm.
just doesn't go
Yeah.
that way.
Sometimes it
Just
just
like
falls
just
flat
like
on
how
its
like
face.
yeah, just like how sometimes like we pass the ball around, and then
Mhm.
after Jay speaks, he's like, "Hey Cole, which one would you like to bring up?" Usually that's
I
how
just
it
normally
goes.
wait for you guys to like jump in.
Well, I'm jumping in here. The thing with shonen manga for me that I really like are the ones that aren't necessarily the battle focused ones, I think.
Yeah.
I like the slice of life shonen stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to come in fast and I'm going to come in swinging, you guys. I'm
Okay.
going with Yotsuba End as my
Mhm.
shonen recommendation. This is Jay, this is published by Dengeki Daio, and its demographic is shonen.
Okay.
Shonen.
He'll accept it. He will accept it.
I'm surprised though that this is a shonen, but again, the lines are blurred. Let's not relitigate that. But Yotsuba and Mike and I both thoroughly enjoy this manga. It's just such a nice, light read. It is funny in ways that sometimes you don't expect manga to be. Like, sometimes humor in manga doesn't land the same as humor in other stuff, but this one, it works.
I feel like with this one, it's got the right mix of like peculiarity with being like also cute and adorable and charming, while also being like kind of relatable a little bit. It's kind of pretty nailed down all of those.
Yeah, it's pretty grounded. But like peculiar, like you said. Yotsuba is such a good main character. Uncommon main character. She's a 5-year-old girl who's just like crazy. She's just always doing stuff. And I love this series. You never know what she's going to do next. I love this series. It's so good.
Yeah.
That would be my recommendation to the man bleeding out on the street. And he's like,
"Why is he? Did you stab him? Why is he bleeding out?"
No, he's just bleeding out. I'm walking by, and he's like, and I'm like, "You need to read Yotsuba End."
And then the blood clears up.
And then
suddenly,
I walk away.
Like all the bones snap back into place.
And he never asked me for recommendation.
He didn't even ask for it. You're just like, here's what you need to do.
Here's what you got to do. I'm like an angel. I'm like an angel passing along wisdom to this dying soul.
Okay, well now I feel bad because you guys gave like these deeper cut ones and I gave Attack on Titan. So my real answer's changing. I'm going to To Your Eternity. To Your Eternity is my choice for a shonen manga.
Oh, are you?
That I'm recommending
To Your Eternity, eh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what you're going to do?
Look it up. It's a shonen manga, apparently.
Look it up, you jerk. To Your Eternity was a very good manga. Better manga than anime. I'm good. There, I said it.
That's why I'm changing my answer to this, because honestly, the manga is vastly superior to the anime. And just read the manga; it's so much better. It's the art is just great. The storytelling, you can really understand what's going on to a deeper level. The character dynamics are sweet and great, and you can kind of just like flip through it. It's pretty easy to read too, other than the pain. But yeah,
I've heard like I haven't read it, but I've heard like it. The first couple arcs are really good. Too. And then, like, when it gets to a certain point, it kind of takes a dip in quality.
I stopped at the time skip to the future. Yes, like the very the present day.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
that's
I wanted to dance around that, but yeah.
Well, I think it makes sense. Like, I don't feel like that's a spoiler. Like, the story just progresses as it. No, the story just progresses as it goes on. So of course it's going to get to modern day at some point.
It's about a person who lives forever, right? So eventually he's gonna make it to modern day.
Yeah. It felt like the arc prior to that one worked, and then like once it skips to modern day, it kind of just undoes all of the thematic elements. I don't want to get into spoilers or anything like that, but
yes,
the show is known for something, and then it just completely undoes all of that setup, and it's very disappointing. Shame on you.
I just felt like it kind of ended nicely before that.
Yeah.
And I just didn't feel like I needed to continue. It's kind of where I fell off. And it's weird that we're recommending to read something that one of us hasn't read, and then two of us have kind of soft dropped, I would say. But like, honestly, I'd say that first part is well worth your time.
Mike, you and I dropped off at the right time, though.
I think so too. I'm probably gonna go pick it up at some point and just check out the current day arc and see what it is. But
yeah,
I'm kind of like I keep hearing all the modern day stuff sucks, and every time I hear that, I'm like, I just keep getting more curious. Like, I'm like, what?
Jay's like, people don't like it. Maybe I can say it's the best.
No, but I need to know, like, what's so bad about it? What does it do?
What you're reading after Bleach.
I don't think it's bad. It's just
it's not.
It's
different.
not. Yeah, I'll.
We can talk about
I won't say anything.
Commit to get this kind of sentence. Jeez.
Well, death. That's what it needs.
Yeah.
Jay, do you have a quick second one you want to just throw out there?
Yeah, I guess so. Let's go with as I can quickly. Cole, do you have one while I scramble?
I've got. I'm kind of deciding between one of two. Okay, quickly. If you want to start an anime podcast, read the Quintessential Quintuplets. But my actual second one is going to be Call of the Night. I think Call of the Night, the aesthetic, the art, the story, the ending is kind of, but that's okay. It's about the journey, not the destination. And yeah, I love Call of the Night.
Are hard.
It's it's such a vibe, gentlemen. It's such a vibe, and the anime is really good too. So that would be mine. That would be my secondary one. Did I give you enough time, Jay?
Yeah, I'm gonna. So I'm just gonna give a quick shout out to Konoha Tomare. It doesn't have an official translation, so I can't exactly recommend it, but it is really good and the drama's great, and you should go read it if you decide to sail the seven seas. But if not, Bakuman is my other one. It's a story about making manga, and if you are very interested in how manga is made, this is a very, very deep-ish look into the world of making manga. Okay. And it's a good first step into learning how manga is published.
Nice. Mike, as the music swells, do you have because Jane, I already said 3. Do you just want to throw one out there? Throw it now.
Oh god, what would be another good one? I have no idea. I'm just gonna run away. Run away.
Rent a Girlfriend. That's Mike's third one. Let's go to an.
I was trying to think of what's the most different thing, because Shonen's such a wide and weird break. Myself every week.
It's interesting to open up the recording. Especially considering you have a child, Michael. You have a child. Your castration didn't work, I don't think.
No, it did not.
Mike used castration, but it failed.
Yeah, exactly. My favorite Pokemon move, castration.
Welcome back to AniPro.
It's coming, Gen 10.
Interesting, yeah.
Yeah, interesting. We're sorry.
Weirder by the week. Week for sure. Yeah.
Gentlemen, let's try something a little bit different with our manga reviews.
Whoa.
You know how we reveal all 3 of our anime that we're going to review? We each reveal it all at once?
Yeah.
Let's do the same here.
Okay.
Let's do the same with manga. Let's just reveal them all.
Let's be consistent. Let's do things the same.
Everybody knows what they've got to look forward to. We've got 3 months of stuff all lined up all at once.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
I'm here for it.
Yeah.
Should we just follow the traditional order of AniPro, the Cole, Mike, Jay?
I think so. Yeah, I think so. When I say
why did that become the order? I don't know.
My name's Cole, his name's Mike, his name is Jay.
Yeah.
We like anime. It rhymes.
Yeah. If you're watching on the YouTube video from left to right, Cole, Mike, Jay.
Is that? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Whatever you do, Mike. Yeah, let's go in the traditional AniPro order. I guess that means I'm up first. Gentlemen, let's foray into a genre that we hath not forayed into. Let's go a little Yuri here, boys. Let's go. I started reading this manga recently, and I am infatuated. I think it's a very sweet manga. It's like Call of the Night meets Bloom Into You. I'm gonna recommend that we read Vampires. VAMPEERZ.
Okay.
One of the girls is a vampire. One of them is just a girl in Japan, a human. And will they? Won't they? No, they will. It's established pretty early. And
okay.
it's it's nice. I want to share this with my boys. I want to share some Yuri manga with my boys.
Okay.
So that's my that'll be our next manga review then. So I guess Mike would be the next one after me.
I am the next one.
Then Mike.
Mm-hmm. And for mine, I'm going to do something more in keeping with what we do. And I don't know why I'm making it so awkward. I'm going to do a manga. I've been collecting it lately. So I've decided I'm just going to force myself to read it with my homies. Why not?
Okay.
You know?
Can we meet them?
Let's do it. No, they're kind of they go to a different school.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm going to do a manga. Came out in 2006. It is by a renowned mangaka we've talked about a couple weeks ago on the podcast by Naoki Urasawa. We're going to do 20th Century Boys.
Ooh, okay.
Yes,
all right.
My choice.
Wow.
This one's, I don't know exactly what it's all about, but I know Naoki Urasawa doesn't let me down. It's an 88% on AniList. My anime list has it at 8.9. Like, it's obviously pretty good. Let's find out how good it truly is. Let's see. Yeah. Let's find out.
All right. Yeah. Okay. I'm looking forward to that one. Jay?
Yeah,
can you top it?
I don't know, but that leaves just me, to reveal a manga. So I've been seeing this manga go around a lot recently that people have been buying copies of the Japanese volume, and like the author was saying like, it's not selling that well, please help. And everyone and a lot of people online have been going like, oh, well then let's buy it because it's actually really good. And I want to find out if it actually is good. So we're going to be reading Love Bullet.
Bullet. You just suggested that to me, Jay.
I did.
You son of a gun. I see how it is.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I'm interested in it. Can I give the quick synopsis for you, Jay, seeing as you sent it to me?
Yeah, go for it.
Changing Cupid's love arrows into firearms. It's basically, instead of Cupid shooting a bow and arrow, they use a gun. A love gun. Isn't that a
gun?
Whoa.
Isn't that a Kiss song?
I think it is a Kiss song.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
I just looked at Cole's Vampires. And one of the top comments is, "What is this, lesbian Twilight?"
Yeah,
I like it.
Yeah.
Still a better love story than Twilight.
Kind of is. But it's. I'm looking forward to all three of these. These all sound pretty good.
Good slate. It's nice knowing what's coming up too. I do like that.
Yeah. It kind of keeps us, and we're able to kind of pre-do our homework a little bit too. You know.
Yeah.
Not really.
We won't, but we could.
We won't. We could, but we definitely will not.
Yeah, we won't, but we could.
Now, the keen-eared listener out there will have noticed that we missed a step in our first half.
It's time for the mailbag.
It's mailbag time. If you got a mailbag question, you can send it to us over at our website, AniProPod.com/mailbag, or on our Discord. This one comes from our Discord. It's also a patron priority mailbag. Wee woo. It's from Uncle of Light. And the question reads as such. He says, quote, Brainrot, unquote, seems to have been named Word of the Year by Oxford University Press. So what piece of media comes to mind when hearing the word brain rot? What do you think? What do you think of when you hear the word brain rot, Jay?
I think of Skibbity Toilet.
Okay.
Skibbity Toilet.
I don't understand it. I don't I don't understand the new memes that the youngins are coming up with. It just all seems stupid.
I mean, that's very fair. I'm going to kind of play off of that one before you answer, Mike. My piece of media, I'm going with TikTok. TikTok is my answer.
You can't say a whole platform as a piece of media.
Well, that's what somebody who uses TikTok would say. True.
I guess so. I do use a lot of TikTok. And I am the most brain-rotten person on the podcast.
Brain-rotted. I mean, if I was going anime, I guess I'd probably say
Lobotomy Kaizen.
That is peak brain rot, honestly, but it's like great.
Well, I mean, I guess Pop Team Epic, is like pure brain rot.
Yeah.
It's just whenever you would say the word shit post for, just use the word brain rot for it, and then you sound like a younger person.
It's the same.
It's the same meaning.
Yeah.
It's the same meaning. It's
Yeah.
As far
Mike,
as what does my brain come up with, for some reason, the one that I come up with is this. There's this TikTok that I get a lot of. It's like this guy doing their scary stories.
Oh, I love those. Yeah.
I can't do it justice by like saying it out loud, but he's like, I went to the hospital to get my knees replaced. The doctor told me there are no knees. And then it's just so stupid. It gets me every time.
That is a scary story, though. That is quite scary.
That is
I mean,
very
the whole
scary.
reason you went to the hospital was to get your knees replaced, and they didn't even have any in stock?
Exactly, yeah. Or just like, it's just weird things. But as far as anime, probably the most brain rot anime I've seen recently was Nokatan from a couple seasons ago. Or was that last season? Because it just kind of seemed like that was the whole point of that anime, and it just felt like I was dumber for having watched it, which is just peak brain rot, and that's what Lobotomy Kaisen was all about too. And it's a great reference by Jay there.
Yeah. Jay, do you have one? Like, do you have an anime? I should say.
I was gonna say Nokatan, but that was taken. So I'm gonna go with Girlfriend.
Ooh, good answer. Good answer.
I feel dumber for having read it, but I couldn't stop.
Couldn't stop. You were addicted to the brain rot. And I mean, doesn't that say something about us as a society and how we live in one?
We are in a society.
Yeah.
This is a society.
Yeah. Well, thank you for the question, Uncle of Light. It was very eye-opening, very
enlightening.
I want to quickly say, I did check my TikTok. If you're curious about the guy who says the scary stories, he's on TikTok. His name is Offlane, Offlain, and you will know what I'm talking about.
Okay. Yeah. I'm definitely not going to look that up. I'm 100% going to look that up after this. Yeah, because I love those. Those are so funny. When you send me those, they're pretty funny. Yeah, play one for the audience just to make them understand.
Here we go.
Yeah, here we go. We're
Volume
gonna get it eventually. Yeah.
Scariest stories. I called cable company. Said they send theirs best guy to fix the problems. Little did I knows, they send Larry. I was walking in a subway station until I saw him, the subway surfer. I tried washing my hands before eating lunch. Then I remembered I had died and can't eat and don't have hands also.
That is scary though. There's a ghost in that last one.
But like sense. Just even the way he's like, I was washing my hands, or I was washing my hand, and it's just like the brain is fully rotten.
Yeah. That's good. Good stuff.
A+.
Jay, what have you done to us this week?
Yeah,
what hath you brought to the class?
What did you make us do?
I made my lovely friends and co-hosts. I'll introduce them to you.
Esteemed
later.
Co-hosts. I demand.
We do like the word esteemed. Actually,
I wasn't going to use that word, but sure.
That's okay. We do like you too, though.
We would really enjoy that.
I introduced my co-hosts to a little manga known as New Eyes Exorcist. And I can consider this, you can consider this payback for making me watch Berserk 26.
I will consider it. Yeah. I didn't do that to you, to be fair.
Yeah,
I did that. I had to watch it too, though. I had to watch it.
Yeah, but you had already
read this.
I like it.
Yeah, that's the thing is Jay does like this one.
Yeah, this should have been your brain rot answer. Jay, why don't you tell us a bit about New Eyes Exorcist?
Yeah, for sure. So this is
yeah, for sure, bud.
Yeah, for sure, bud.
Yeah, gotcha, bud.
This is a manga from Shonen Jump that released last year, back in May of 2023. And it's about a ghost named Nue who's been in this school for, I think it was like 30 years. And nobody's been able to find her until one day, this boy named Gakuro,
boy named protagonist,
finds her, and she gives him part of her powers, to kill the ghosts that show up at his school.
Mm-hmm.
And other things happen. Other characters show up, namely waifus.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty well, yeah.
Yeah. And a silly, dumb shonen romp has begun.
Before we get into the review proper, I just want to say, like, first of all, elephant in the room, right now on AniList, this is sitting at a 53% average score.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Which
that's
is
not
where
really
it was when Jay picked it too. It's not like this is like a new revelation.
No.
Yeah. The one of my favorite things I saw on AniList was one of the comments here where it says Japan loves big boobs even if the series is complete dog shit. Japan will never change. Which I think that might be what's that might be the difference in audience here. What would be the comparisons that you would make to this? Like, what are the recommendations that you would take off of this and apply to something else?
There's one that I thought of while I was reading it, and that was Chain Soldier.
Oh, that was mine.
That's mine too, you jerk.
Now why?
Yeah, why? And then we'll talk about why it's the perfect comp for this.
I mean, main guy, who's like doing like an exorcist thing is surrounded by like a bunch of female exorcists with all the like, girly bits being dangled around in front of him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And,
this is, I will say, tamer than Chain Soldier.
Yeah.
Much tamer.
It's not like, I was surprised with how like little kind of like
I think there's like one page
fan service there
in
is
the 25 chapters that we read.
It's in like the first chapter, isn't it?
It's like chapter 2, I think. Yeah.
I feel like it does a lot of the same things as Chain Soldier, but Chain Soldier just does every single thing to the 10th degree. Like it's like, oh, you want ecchi? Here's a full-on scene of like borderline hentai. Oh, you want action? Here's a guy fighting a horde of basically creatures.
It leans more into like those things that define it, whereas this kind of like reaches out,
rides the middle,
but doesn't like pull it toward it, if that makes sense.
One of the things I said about this manga, like just kind of in comparison to like Chain Soldier, is fun, it knows what it is, it knows what it's trying to do. This manga is like aggressively lame. Like, it's not bad. Like, I wouldn't say that it's bad. It's just so like the author is, or the writer is just like, yeah, here you go. Here's your schlop. Enjoy.
Take your schlop and eat it, pig. While we're still in the comparison section, I feel like the one we talked about in the first half is probably another good comparison. Bleach, maybe?
Oh, I thought you were going to say Yotsuba End. But yeah, Bleach makes sense.
Just because it or Jujutsu Kaisen kind of both have like that.
I think
kind of
Bleach more so, because like it kind of leans more into like a little bit of that rule of cool aspect rather than anything else. And then like also
Bleach
it starts
good
with
ecchi
like
too.
Other character giving human character exorcist powers.
Yep.
At the start.
Black-haired waifu gives main character with yellow spiky hair power to use spirit.
Yeah. I would say
even
like
Rukio's
Bleach,
a ghost. Yeah.
Bleach is a good comparison. Or I'm sorry, Jujutsu Kaisen is a good comparison. It's just like, what if Sukuna was like a waifu?
A
hot babe.
And he wasn't evil. Or at least at the beginning. As far as we know. I don't know.
Maybe.
Maybe not.
We'll get into that maybe. Or maybe not. Actually, it's kind of spoilery, I guess.
I mean, we only read the first 25 chapters.
That's right.
There's only 78 out. It's
releasing, though. It's ongoing. And it seems to be doing well in Japan, so I'm sure it'll continue. Any other recommendations you guys want to throw out there before we kind of get into this review proper? I see Toilet Bound Hanako-kun on here as well, which kind of like I do enjoy a lot of like the the spirit aspect of this manga. It's very creative, and Toilet Upon Hanako-kun is that as well. Stories are quite different, I would say, but like if you just kind of want that like ghouly, spooky, ghostly type thing, Toilet Upon Hanako-kun, I'd throw that in there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Is there any other ones you guys got? Or?
Chain Soldier and Bleach were probably the two that.
Yeah.
Chain Soldier's the big obvious one for sure.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Yeah, so let's talk about I guess the characters in this. Well, our main characters, I guess.
Is there anyone who even stood out as a character to you guys? Is there anyone worth talking about?
Is there any character that stood out? Nue stood out.
Nue's probably the answer here.
Nue, yeah.
That's the titular character that is kind of the most front and center and the most interesting, I guess.
She's the ancient goat, basically like demon that sort of gives the main guy his powers, I guess, is the way to think of it. And she just kind of plays the role of being like this like aloof like waifu who kind of just like takes him under her wing and sort of just like is making his life better for unknown reasons. And honestly, it's just kind of like you can't. She's a cool character no matter what you say about this manga. Like she carries it for sure.
Yeah, she is the most character wise the most intriguing character. The most this is gonna sound weird and goonery, but like the most pleasing character. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I get you.
Yeah, like her character design is probably like the most stereotypically pleasing. Aesthetically pleasing. Yeah. Which kind of brings up the question, like, there's a lot of waifus in this. And I kind of touched on it a little bit with that comment about how the Japanese audience there may be a reason why they like this. Like waifu bait in manga. Like, do you think that that's an effective strategy of getting people to read something like this? Mike, what are your thoughts on that?
Yes, big, huge yes. That is, when I was reading this, it's almost like they were literally like he made the manga. Like in the first couple chapters, it was like he's like, okay, what can I make a manga about? Exorcist. That's never been done before. And then he's like, okay, we got the cool. I bet you he thought of Nue, and then he was like, how can I make a manga with Nue? And that because she's this cool waifu, right? And then he's like, manga. What can I do to like make people get more into it? And he's like, waifus. Waifus are the answer. Let's just throw all the waifus into this.
Yeah,
and I think a lot of subpar things are improved by just having like a ton of waifus that are just great waifus. I mean, it's the Genshin Impact effect. Yeah.
Right. The game doesn't have to be good. The manga doesn't have to be good. It's just got to have good character designs. Jay, what do you think of that topic? Like, do you think it's an effective way of getting people to come in and enjoy?
I think Mike a little bit hit the nail on the head where like this, especially at the beginning, this manga sells itself on cute girls with cute character designs, with like a subpar narrative and premise. I'm a little bit biased because I also have read ahead, so like I know how much she's improved since. But at the same time, like the selling point on this manga for sure for someone who's starting out is do these cute character designs serve as a good selling point for you? And if yes, you're probably going to continue reading it. If no, then you're probably dropping it faster than Andy did to Woody in Toy Story. I don't want to play with you anymore.
Yeah, I would agree with both of you. Like, I think the character design in this manga is like, I would say inarguably good.
Yeah,
I would say. I think the character designs are really good. I think the art.
I think for the girls, character designs are good. Gakuro's
Jay took the words out of my mouth because the guys are definitely not good characters.
No, here's the thing though with Gakuro. Let me defend my boy, who's not my boy. I don't know why I'm saying that.
You love him. Continue.
At least he's like, I don't know what's going on with his like hair thing, what's happening with his hair thing, but at least it's
his face.
At least it's like a unique thing that they're trying.
Yeah,
you know, like I think it's a super unique character design. You haven't really seen something like that before, for good, for better or worse. I think I got to give him points just for the boldness is the wrong word.
I'll give it this. I'm at least a little bit intrigued with what's going on with him, but at the same time, I don't know if that's coming from the fact that like there's stuff that has happened since that I know.
Well, I'm strictly speaking like aesthetically.
Right. So I'm saying like I don't know if it's because of the design itself that I'm intrigued, or because there's other stuff that have been revealed. That I know that.
Yeah,
I see. Oh, he's milquetoast AF, but I think he's. I think like I got to give credit where credit's due. I like the character designs in this, guys and girls.
I like the female character designs. The only male character design I thought that was kind of good is the dude who comes in near the end of our 3 volumes there to fight Nue. I forget his name right now, but yeah, I thought he had kind of a cool character design. But I felt like the ones who are in the school are pretty generic.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I'm not going to die on this hill.
Yeah,
but I am going to die on this hill.
Yeah.
What I want to get into is kind of the art in general, which I personally think is a selling feature for this in and of itself.
I think it's good. It does have some wonky bits to it. Like, I think the shadows, especially on the faces, are like super weird. Like there's some shots where like you'll get like the face in like complete utter black darkness, and it's like that's not how shadows really work.
Yeah, it's dramatic effect though. It's for dramatic effect.
It is. It looks super uncanny.
I felt like the art in this one, it was super inconsistent. Like when it wanted to do something well, it really did. Like the fight scenes actually are like really well choreographed and like have really cool like aesthetics to them with all the shadows and the weapons and stuff. But like I felt like the average panel was pretty generic and kind of boring to look at, and like not well. Like there was really nothing special about it that would really draw you in until like it was kind of like he would hit the budget button and then just be like, "Okay, this is gonna go crazy," and then he would like quickly scroll out the rest. It's kind of that's how I felt reading it anyway.
Yeah, I mean, for sure, like the action stuff, I would say is pretty good.
I think
the reliance on like chibi in this is even like we talked about chibi last week with Your Lie in April. This is almost like overkill with the chibi. Like it uses it in every like wide shot, it seems. Every time it shows 2 characters together from like a far angle, they're chibi. And I don't know, maybe I was looking out for that and it was kind of distracting to me.
I didn't find that too distracting.
Yeah, it wasn't really that distracting to me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I did note I kind of like the chibi a little bit in this one actually. Like it just kind of, I don't know, the characters looked cute in chibi form is what I'd say.
Like
the way
they
did.
saw it was like the characters outside of chibi were cute, so like, you know, making them
sense.
chibi just added to it.
I just feel like they use chibi like often in serious scenes where it didn't really fit.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not saying that the aesthetic of the chibi characters was bad. It was the use of the chibi like design, I think was questionable.
Well, we can definitely I think we can all agree that like the monsters looked cool when they came out. I thought the spirits looked really cool, and like the monster that came out in volume 3 there with the dude I was talking about that I liked his character design. I thought that was like such a cool like fight and concept, and like just the art of it was very neat. I
think the creature designs in this are great.
Yeah. And like I thought that one monster that got like a 2-page spread at like near the very end of our 3-volume read.
Yeah,
that looked awesome.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah. But then like the run of the mill spirits, not very interesting at all. Not.
Oh, I even think like the general spirits were like, yeah, they weren't interesting, but they were like unique, I would say. Like you don't see, the ghosts were like this weird like blob fish looking thing. Yeah, and it was like, oh, that's interesting, where like most things would just kind of have like a wispy ghost, where this looks like It looks like what are those little creatures, microscopic creatures that are like extremophiles? Water bears.
Something bears,
water bears. Yeah, something like that. They kind of look like that. Like they're very weird and like unearthly. Tardigrades. Thank you. Yeah. So I liked even the generic like class 1 spirits or whatever they were called in this. Yeah.
It's very divisive manga so far. I like it. I like that we've all got completely different opinions on this thing. I like it.
Yeah, so far. Now what I will say is inarguably bad in this, and I will fight you guys over it. The exposition in this is just brutally bad. There was one scene where I thought, okay, this was like good use of exposition, where like somebody was asking a question that somebody else could answer. But so often plot points were expressed in like if I was explaining to Mike what a podcast is, like, Mike, a podcast is when we sit down and record an episode. And it's like, of course Mike knows what that is.
Yeah.
I'm not communicating that to Mike. I'm communicating that to the audience, and it just takes me right out of it.
The one thing that bothered me was when she literally pulled out a whiteboard to start explaining something.
I didn't mind that so much. Like what I think of is in the last kind of few chapters or whatever, when like all of the captains come in or whatever.
Yeah.
And they're telling each other why they have to elect a new leader. And it's like, shouldn't they all know this? Like, who are you explaining this to? You're all in the same position.
Yeah.
Like, we need to elect this because this happens. And it's like, yeah, I'm assuming they would. It's just very clunky. The whiteboard thing I can excuse a little bit because she's explaining to the other characters because they don't know what's happening. Also, it's got one of my favorite gags in the manga where
the gag?
Nue asks one of the characters to go get the whiteboard out of the other room, and she's standing right in front of a blackboard, and the character's like, so that blackboard behind you is just for show?
I didn't even catch that one.
It's just a little throwaway gag. Yeah.
This
manga's got moments.
It's got moments. It's very overall, honestly, I just feel like this manga is just all over the place. Tonally, and like from like an art perspective, from like pretty much anything you could possibly think of from a perspective. I
think a lot of these first 3 volumes is Kota Kawaii just like trying to find anything that'll stick. Like
that's how I felt
possibly.
Too.
He's throwing so much at the wall and just saying, and just like kind of kneeling with his hands clasped together, like, please something stick, please something stick.
Yeah,
like with
regards to
big. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say with regards to like it being all over the place. Yeah, tonally it is. There's just weird like it'll be serious and then all of a sudden somebody will tell a joke or what I was complaining about with the chibi stuff. But even like the waifu bait in it. Like, there's, one beach chapter? And it's super weird. And when it's like, okay, isn't this in to, like, get, that, like, waifu bait in it? And it's really,
it doesn't
not
work. At the same,
They're, like, all covered up.
Yeah, you get this weird, like, his trauma was hilarious, too, about people calling him a dirty boy. Hilarious.
That was aggressively lame. Is the term I would use for that.
Yeah. Like, I can't look at girls because somebody called me a dirty boy once. And it's like, what?
Grow up.
Yeah, that's so dumb. But yeah, it's so like, and I get it. Like Jay said, they're throwing everything at the wall, see what sticks.
And some of it does, to give it credit. Like some of the stuff does stick, I feel.
Yeah, I think the New stuff genuinely does. Like I feel like towards the end of this reading, I started to kind of get what's happening, and I became more invested, I think.
And yeah, that's as someone who's like caught up with it, that's kind of where I'm at. Where like the modern stuff, he's kind of starting to come into his own, but like from reading the first little bit, it's pretty rough. And like through all the reviews I've read,
some of the early stuff.
Yeah, like through all the reviews I've read, because like I want to go and see like what other people were thinking and why they didn't like it and that. And like a lot of them dropped this like around where we stopped.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because like
so,
I feel like by it being so weird and like you said, he's throwing so much spaghetti at the wall, and I guess when he finds the stuff that sticks, he kind of runs with it, which is like good. But I like the one that really got me again is going back to it was the beach chapter. I just felt like that was like his like last ditch, like, oh God, please someone fall in love with one of my waifus. Is that's all I could think of when I was reading that chapter, and I don't know.
Yeah,
it's all
like,
over the place. Yeah.
One of the notes that I took, which must have been I took during the beach chapter, was this manga has a way of taking things I usually enjoy, like a beach episode, and making me go, ugh. Like it's so I don't know. It was just kind of meh and blah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like Jay, you were saying like a lot of this felt like it was just kind of being thrown at the wall. Like, do you think this deserved to stay in Shonen Jump? Like,
from the early
do you think this
stuff?
belongs? Yeah.
From the early stuff, I remember like personally being like, I can absolutely see this being axed. Now I think like it has a better chance of staying, not like a great chance, but like it's definitely gotten better. But like if I were gauging off just this alone, I feel like it probably would be axed for something new.
Yeah. I kind of agree. Like I know Shonen Jump needs to fill pages, like I get that, but like you're also Shonen Jump. Like there's so many mangaka that would just kill to be in this. Yeah,
and I think a lot of the reason why this was able to stay is there were just other things in the magazine that were worse rather than
that's kind of
enough to stay.
That's what I feel happened here. Is it's not the worst thing. It does enough to keep people. I feel like it's quite easily droppable, but it's also quite easy to continue. I felt.
Yeah,
like there wasn't a high barrier to continuing in this one, and you were kind of curious to see where it would go next because it flows pretty naturally.
Like especially like the action stuff in this manga genuinely kept me invested. Yeah. Like the battles, the battles lasted like 3 or 4 chapters usually. And
they're quick. They
were
quick.
page turners. Like I finished a chapter and I'm like, I kind of want to see what happens next, and then I would move on to the next one. And it kind of turned a bit of a.
That's kind of where the manga is right now. Is like it leans more into the fights rather than like the slice of life stuff. Okay, it still has
makes sense.
But like the fights are a big part of what this manga's identity is.
The fights are definitely where it's shown the most for me. And I feel like I almost hope that it goes away from some of the waifu bait a little bit or leans harder into it. Cause like it just felt awkward. Cause like I would be like reading and then he'd be fighting somebody and then all of a sudden his head would be pressed between someone's boobs. And it just felt like, oh, this is just like so tonally weird. And it's just like, it's like so tame with its ecchi that it's almost like you forget that it's ecchi. And then it does like it, and you're like, oh, and that's
it's
weird.
Like it's walking this tightrope of like, do I want to be like an ecchi manga or do I want to be like an action manga? And I feel like something like Chain Soldier just kind of is like, screw the tightrope. I'm doing both. Why not both?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
What were you gonna say, Jay?
I think like this manga is trying too hard to be a jack of all trades that it masters none of them.
Ooh.
At the beginning, anyway.
Yeah.
Well put, Jay.
What would you say like their mangaka's inspirations are then?
The very early one I got was Bleach for reasons that I stated earlier. Like it has kind of the same start as Bleach, where like a normal human who can see spirits meets a powerful spirit girl that gives her powers so he can fight against spirits.
Yeah. I kind of got Jujutsu Kaisen vibes, I think, from it. I mean, you know, you're trying to write shonen, and the big shonen right now, or at the time, was Jujutsu Kaisen. Kind of picked up on that a little bit.
And Jujutsu Kaisen's kind of pretty clearly inspired by Bleach, I'd say. So it makes sense that those two would have a line running through them. And like the protagonist kind of like literally looks like Ichigo or like basically if you just like if you hit him with like a paintbrush with black paint on it on his face.
Mm-hmm.
So it makes sense.
Yeah. So Mike, like you think Bleach is probably the big inspiration behind this one as well?
Probably those two, yeah, Bleach, and because it's all about exorcists, and it's uncanny how these exorcist things always kind of end up being very similar in weird ways.
Yeah, and that's probably my biggest issue with Shonen Jump right now is there are so many exorcist manga coming and going that it's just like kind of fatigue right now. Like I kind of feel a fatigue for them. So like when I see another one, it's just kind of like, here we go again.
Yeah. Okay. That's interesting. That kind of brings me to my next point. Like, would you say that this is kind of like part of the reason why this is kind of looked down upon over here on the Western side of things? Like, in my opinion, it's got all the right pieces. It just doesn't know what to do with them at this point. And like, I think the reason it's so panned here in the West is, going back to my earlier point, it's because it's so aggressively lame. Like it doesn't know what it wants to do.
I think there's that. I think there's also like the fact that you look at the popular shows like Jujutsu Kaisen, Bleach, even like Naruto, and like the formula for that is like the main character is always like this super confident, super like a little bit edgy main character. He's not like much of a crybaby. He's much more like take charge and like actually do something. And Gakuro's not really that. He's much more of like a kind of a passive guy.
Kinda, a little bit.
And like,
not by his nature anyway. He is definitely one to leap into action, and then like
he does, but like in the more in the way that Deku does, rather than like something like one of the guys like Itadori or Ichigo would, where it's like
he jumps into action as a reflex rather than a choice.
Exactly.
Yeah, which like I don't think is a bad thing though.
It's not a bad thing. It's just like that is like the Jujutsu Kaisen side of things is what strikes a chord with a lot of the like shonen battle fans. Right?
Yeah, maybe it's people are looking for Jujutsu Kaisen, and this isn't Jujutsu Kaisen because of the character is much more reactive rather than proactive. Mike, what do you think? I see you deep in thought. I see you thinking.
I'm thinking because I almost feel like the character, he's kind of isn't reactive. He almost chooses to do this stuff too. Like I feel differently about him. Like I feel like he almost wills himself to do things. Yeah,
he grows. Yeah, but like at the beginning of the story, like he chooses to just kind of be somebody's like gopher, right? Because he doesn't want any trouble.
Well, no, because he wants to save that dude, right? That's how I looked at it. Is he like kind of leapt into the fray to help somebody?
But like there was that time when like that one guy leapt into to like be like, oh, I'll be your human shield. You guys get out of here, and then that's what kind of spurred Gakuro to do something rather than him just jumping in.
Yeah, like he kind of chooses to like put himself on the line, but
more of a reaction to what other people are or like what's happening rather than like working to stop it from Jump.
Yeah. I kind of think what really is like the death knell for this and why it's so critically panned is that I feel like it just doesn't do, other than some of the character designs and the artwork, I just feel like it doesn't do anything interesting. I feel like it doesn't do anything that really is giving me like, I can't see a reason to recommend this to somebody over something else. I can't see a reason to say, this is what you got to check out. It's the hot up. This should get an anime over other thing. I just don't know what it would do.
Yeah, kind of commenting on Jay's like comment about Jack of all trade, master of none. It's like, oh, do you like ecchi stuff? Like I could name other ecchi stuff. Yeah. Do you like action stuff? I could name, like this does so much, but just kind of
doesn't do any of it really that good.
The best I could say about it is it does it fine in some cases. Like
very
where
fine.
It's not bad.
being invested in something doesn't mean that it's good. And I don't know if that says something about me or not. But that doesn't make it like good. It has a way of maintaining my interest.
Making me interested is not a mark of quality, it's a benchmark.
yeah. You gotta meet a certain threshold, and there are so many things that just exceed that threshold, where this is just like, here's the line, and it's like just right at the line. Yeah.
Just tickling the line.
So like, I mean, this is a generic shonen battle romp. Like the power system in something like this, again, like it's Jujutsu Kaisen. The main character is borrowing power from somebody, but also feeding them power. I didn't get the power system in this.
I feel like the part of the generic feeling of this too came from it. I think the mangaka literally didn't think through the power system at all when he created it. And like to the point where like in the first like whole volume, he refers to it just as powers. And then at a certain point, they're like, oh, okay, now it has this name. I forget what it is right now. It's not spiritual pressure. What the hell do you call it?
Well,
Control,
there's like his hollow
something?
weapon and his soul gear or whatever.
Yeah, but there's like a name for the power or something. I forget what it is right now. But like literally on like the back of one of the volumes in the like the notes, he was like, yeah, I just thought of the name for this, by the way. So here's the name for this power system. And it's like, you didn't think of that before?
And like kind of just like you said, making it up as he's going along. It's like at the start of it, Nue gives the main character Kun their power. But then later on, it's like established that she feeds off of him as well.
It's very confusing.
Like,
well, there's also like
I think there's ways to do that.
Well,
I think there's ways to do that cleanly.
He does have like a spiritual energy because he can see spirits in chapter 1.
Right.
Yeah. It's established that he's special, like in this story. It's just I don't really know where his powers are coming from, and where like how come she's feeding off of him as well. It doesn't. It's not very clean. I would say it's not very refined.
It had a bit of the Jujutsu Kaisen problem too, where it was like explaining the powers as they're using them. And it would be like, oh, I can use Shikigami, and here's how I use them, and here's why I can use them this way. And it was like, it just felt clunky a lot of the time. Like, Jujutsu Kaisen does that a lot too, where it's like, I'm going to use my ability, and here's 2 pages on how it works.
Yeah.
It's like, just do the ability. I'll figure it out later. It's
explain it to me after. I don't.
Yeah.
Well, show me like
just
what
takes
it
me
does.
out of it.
Like, show me what it does
with
your panels. What it does.
Show me with your panels. If you want to explain it after.
Yeah.
If you explain it to me while it's happening, I'm completely out. I'm zoned out.
If you explain it to me while it's happening, what's stopping the guy that's also apparently able to listen to you talk from just countering it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or like for a good example would be like the Shikigami thing, where they have to be able to speak to do the Shikigami thing. And basically they explain that mid-fight. Why not just show him, like, they explain it before the fight, and then just show him like kind of trying to like keep close so that they can't use the Shikigami thing. Like, instead of having him explain constantly like, oh, here's what I'm doing, here's my strategy, just do it.
Yeah. I hate that trope too that this uses in 1 or 2 chapters during a battle, where it's like, I'm going to explain everything to you, and then it cuts to the battle, and then it tells you everything as the battle's going. It does flashbacks.
Exactly what you said.
Yeah. I know.
It's like, just tell me everything beforehand, so I'm established. I know what's going to happen. I know why he's doing something. The problem with you telling me as the battle's happening is like, I'm not as invested in the battle because you keep taking me out of it.
But we say that, but we're also like into the battles at the same time, so maybe it's good. I don't know what's going on. This is I'm very conflicted.
I will say, like, it explained to me what, like, there's one battle where it explained to me what he needed to do, and then he didn't do the thing. So like, I like it did get me on the edge of my seat.
Yeah.
For that one fight, and then like it then later reveals that like he wanted to do that.
Of course.
Yeah.
He's a shonen protagonist.
Again, though, like this, it's got glimmers. It's got little sparks of like being able to do something, which
it's got potential.
It's got potential. Yeah. What do you guys think about wrapping this review up?
Let's wrap it up. Let's get out.
Let's wrap this puppy up in a nice little bow.
Yeah.
I think
Mike,
we can only say the same thing multiple times.
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't like this, but Mike, what did you? Why don't you lead us off in our wrap ups?
Yeah. I can do that. I think this manga, as Cole said, it's like kind of just aggressively. I'd swap out the word lame for the anime fans' word of choice. It's aggressively mid.
Yeah.
In so many ways. Like everything it does is like a 6 out of 10. It's just kind of like, all right, I'm just going to have everything be painfully average across the board. It does enough to keep you kind of interested in hanging along while also being like a pretty easy page turner at the same time. But it's weird because like I felt like I read it quite easily and I wasn't like, I didn't feel like I wanted to drop it, but like really at not many points was I ever like, oh, I'm really enjoying my time reading this. It's a weird thing to think. Like I'm like, oh, I kind of want to see what happens next, but I also am not really enjoying this. It's a weird, it's a very like I said, I'm conflicted about this one. I don't know how to feel about it. But like, kind of if I were to come down, I don't know that if I'm ever recommending this to somebody. Does it deserve to be in Shonen Jump? Probably, just because it's not the worst thing in there. But like, something's gonna come along and kick this out at some point. Put Dawn in there, for goodness sake. Yeah. All in all, I'm kind of scrambling because I don't remember what the lower. If it wasn't for the review, I definitely would have dropped this. If it wasn't for the review, I definitely would have dropped this one. Yeah.
Okay. I'll go next because Jay, this is yours, so you can wrap it up.
I can close it up.
Yeah, I like it's aggressively average, like we've said. Everything it does is either not good or from not good all the way up to it's okay, it's fine. I think the spirit designs in it are really cool. I think a lot of the action points are genuinely pretty page turning. They're pretty exciting. That being said, I think like a lot of the plot points are overly convenient. We didn't really talk about kind of plot in this, but like there's a character who's introduced early on who is introduced and all of a sudden they're friends, and it's kind of I didn't really understand how that worked. Tonally inconsistent, everything like that. That all being said, like I think it finished strong with what we read. Like I could see where it started going. If I was to say we were reviewing the first volume, I would agree with Mike about if it weren't for the review, I would drop it. At this point, though, I'm maybe a little bit considering continuing. I think it's I'm curious. I don't know if I will, but it's maybe I'm considering continuing. Yeah. Jay?
Yeah. Well, we've got an interesting spectrum of ratings here, but I know that this isn't the best thing around. That this isn't like a masterpiece or even like in the upper echelons of Shonen Jump works. That being said, this scratches my monkey brain at the back of my mind that just makes me go, I want to see what happens next. Why do I want to see what happens next? What's going on? Give me more Unga Bunga.
Yeah.
And I mean,
everybody's got that though. Everybody's got
I can't
that
really
thing that's
explain
just
it.
they like, yeah.
But like,
hey man,
it does
I like
have
gushing
cute
over
waifus.
magical girls. It's okay, Jay.
Yeah, no, it does have it has cute waifus.
I like MF Ghost.
It has good fight scenes. I think the fights are genuinely really good.
Yeah.
And echoing Cole, the creature designs look awesome. Despite its shortcomings that we've extensively discussed. With that all being said, I mean, I did continue it. I am caught up, and it does tickle my jimmies.
Yeah.
I could see this one coming from a mile away.
Yeah, me too. I feel like this is a certified Jimmy tickler for the right person. I think it does. Like at moments, your jimmies are tickled for sure. And I think
I would say if you start reading this, I would say give it the 3
volumes.
I would say 2 or 3 volumes. I would say if you're gonna try it. The first volume is pretty weak, and I think it genuinely does get better. So take that for what it is.
77. If you decide to catch up, 77 ended on a really cool cliffhanger, and I'm really excited to see what happens next.
Oh,
I think
Talk
my
to Jay.
recommendation to new, if someone was wanting to check this out or like was thinking about it, I think I would say to them, it's not as bad as it seems. Like a 50, whatever it is, 54. You think, oh, that must be just like utter garbage. It's not. It's just
that was another thing I wanted to ask you guys that I completely forgot in the review. Does it warrant that 53% on AniList?
I don't think so.
Like 53% in a vacuum, yes, I think. Like
Yes.
it gets a passing grade. 53% on AniList is harsh, I think. Like this should be on AniList, I feel like this should be like mid 60s. I want to say.
I feel like it's a 6.5 would be probably where I would slate it on AniList, because rating anything below a 6 means it's like utter garbage. Below a 5 means it's like borderline unwatchable.
Yeah.
The scale starts at 5 effectively. It's funny.
I had some fun reading this.
Yeah.
I would say. But yeah, if you've read this manga, let us know what you think in the comments below. We do got manga reviews coming up. We told you about them early on in this half. So our manga reviews that are coming up are Vampires, 20th Century Boys, and Love Bullet. We've also got a anime review coming up. This will be after Christmas, I guess. We're taking a bit of a break from reviews just to kind of get into the holiday season, but it'll be Ponpo the Cinephile, a movie review to get us back into the swing of things. Our listener's choice review poll is up. Go and vote. We've got Vivi Fluoride Eye Song, Serial Experiments Lane, and Texonal Eyes. They're all cyberpunk anime. Because I was playing Cyberpunk at the time and it was my turn.
Anime.
They are all certified anime. Don't listen to Jay. We checked.
They're
They're all
allegedly
certified
anime.
His brain's turned to mush from Nue's Exorcist in the cold.
And the cold. Yeah, Nue's got to exercise your cold from you, Jay.
That's right.
Yeah.
Look, man,
but anyway,
Nue
thank you
is
so much.
Mommy.
I didn't want to be the one to say it, but Nue's kind of mommy. Yeah, a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Mike, say it. Is she mommy?
Nue is mommy.
Yeah, okay.
Certified mommy. Excellent.
That was certified mommy, certified gooners over here at AniPro. All three
Huge
of us.
Goons. Bunch of goons. Call us Goon Squad.
Yeah,
Just a
thank
bunch
you so
of
much for
henchmen.
listening to another episode of AniPro. If you liked it, please leave a like, subscribe, leave a review, tell a friend about us. If you really like us, please considering supporting us on Patreon like these lovely people: Mr. Family Guy 36, Elijah Wood, Braindead, B-Dog, Peach, Frama, Kratos, Juzz, Mog, Antonio Bustos, Uncle of Light, and Super Mexi. By supporting us on Patreon, you get access to all sorts of perks, and it really helps the show out. We're also on social media at AniProPod, and please join our Discord community to keep up with us and other listeners. Links to everything is in the description or at our website, AniProPod.com. I think it's I'll lead us in a round of bye-byes. Yeah. I come here every week and I record a podcast with my two best friends in the whole world. And then I start recording this podcast. And this is also fun. Yeah, so ladies and gentlemen, we say don't do that.
How are you doing that?
I don't like that. I'm gonna
get us out of here, Cole, please. So we can stop.
I'm gonna get us out of here. I say as we do at the end of every episode of the Anime Protagonist Podcast, or AniPro as our friends call us. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
The f was that?
Bye bye.